Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Star Fox Adventures. Last time, we returned all of our cheat tokens to the Gamewell Maze, collecting all of our prices for doing so, and we were told to head back to the Walled City since there's one more Krazoa Spirit that we need to get there. And we're ready to take off and head back to the Walled City now, but before doing so, I want to go ahead and show you guys my inventory, show you all my maps and everything that we have collected throughout the game. As you remember, in the very beginning of this Let's Play, I grabbed every single last map. And I'm going to show you my status, showing that we have the max amount of scarabs that we can carry. We have a full energy meter. We have all the spell stones. And we have all but 2 other Krazoa Spirits. Before leaving Thorntail Hollow, I recommend that you grab this item from the Thorntail Hollow store, the zoom goggles. You will be needing these at the Walled City, but we have all the powers and all the upgrades, so we have everything that we need. There's a point of no return coming up to the Walled City, so I recommend if there's anything else that you need to do in Thorntail Hollow or anywhere else around Dinosaur Planet, do it now, because once we get to that point of no return at the Walled City, which I will be bringing back up once we get to that point, you will never be able to come back to these areas ever again. Once you get to that point of no return, it's just story, and that is it. That would be the end of the game. So make sure that you buy all your maps, make sure you buy all your items from the store, get all your staff energy upgrades, do everything before you head back to the Walled City. So with all that said and done, we have to head back to the Walled City to collect our 5th Krazoa Spirit. So with that, let's go ahead and get our mission briefing.
Hurry, Fox! There must be another Krazoa shrine hidden within the Walled City. When you land, go directly to the King Earthwalker. He should be able to tell you where to start looking. Peppy out!
Fly through 7 gold rings to open the Gatekeeper's force field.
Alright, heading back to the Walled City. I know you guys might be thinking, wait a minute, we already seen this trip. Why are we watching your trip back to the Walled City if you cut out all the pointless trips that we have to make back to Thorntail Hollow? Well, from this point on, we're not going to be in the R-Wing that much longer, and it's all required stuff, so I feel that it's more necessary this time to show this, even if we've already made this trip. But we've only been here once before, so it doesn't really matter in the long run when you really think about it. But yeah, we have to head back to the Walled City, because the looks of things, Krazoa Spirits, they're also needed to be put back to the Krazoa Shrine before we can put the planet back together, so our job isn't done yet, but we're almost there. We're almost to the end, because we got all the spell stones back in the Forest Point Temple, so that's at least a good chunk of the puzzle right there solved. But we didn't have all the jigsaw pieces, so to say, in order to fully solve it. So this will be the last thing that we need to do. But our first time here, we never saw any Krazoa Shrine. We were told by everyone in Thorntail Hollow, the Queen, the Earthwalkers, Tricky, and such, that apparently there is a Krazoa Shrine on the top of the temple here. We never saw that, so we have no idea where to even start looking. So our first thing we should go and do is we should go ahead and talk to the King of the Earthwalkers and see where he knows where to start looking. He probably knows where the shrine is himself, like exactly how to get in there, so it's best for us right now to go ahead and talk to the King of the Earthwalkers, just so we know where we need to go next here in the Walled City. So let's go ahead and do that.
Fox, on behalf of Dinosaur Planet, I thank you for returning the Spellstones to their rightful place.
For what good it did? If you didn't notice, you're still stuck up here in this floating rock.
By removing the Spellstones, Scales caused our planet to tear apart. Returning the stones has stopped the flow of magic energy, but only by the power of the Krazoa Spirits will the floating lands return.
Seems like we both have our reasons for finding the last of the spirits. The Queen said I could find one here in the city. So where is it?
The spirit will be revealed once both the Sun and Moonstones are returned to the temple.
Alright, well now we have a general idea of what we need to do. In order to get to our next Krazoa Shrine, we need to go ahead and get these Sun and Moonstones. So let's go ahead and talk to this Earthwalker here first.
Your goal may seem close, but the answer is not always so clear.
Well, that's pretty much a hint of what's coming up ahead here, and why I told you guys to buy the zoom goggles before you left Thorntail Hollow. This will be the required use right up ahead. But before we get to do anything else, we've got these puzzles here to solve. And let's see. Let's first start by pushing this one over here. Then I'm going to push this one over here. That should solve it. Because if I just push this one straight, I should just be able to push this one onto the air block, and yep, there you go, that solved the puzzle. Cool. First try. But in order to proceed, you do need to solve that little block pushing puzzle there, because that will open up this little gateway up here. And this is the required use of the zoom goggles. If you go in the first person mode here, without the zoom goggles, you'll just be looking through this hole and you'll see this light, but you can't really do anything since it can't zoom in. But with the zoom goggles, you can go ahead and do this. Zooming right in on that light apparently opens up this door. It's weird when you think about it. I mean, how would that work? But it does, so there you go. Got some fire bats up here, so let's get our freeze blast out. There you go. And now we have another little puzzle we need to solve. We need to go ahead and move these blocks around so that we can push these emblems in their corresponding holes. Which means that we want to have the moon symbol there facing out in the blue area, and all the sun emblems being right in front here in the red areas, just like so. It's a very simple puzzle, it takes a little bit of time to solve. We'll be solving a lot of puzzles here this time in the walled city. Last time we just had two real things we needed to do. We just needed to kill all the Red Eye members and just find all those trees to shoot with our fire blaster. But this time it's a little bit more complicated. We have a little bit more this time to think of, which is nice. I actually like the return trip here to Walled City a little bit more than the first time, just mainly because you're solving more puzzles, so your mind's a little more active. And I'm always a fan of solving puzzles, so I have no complaints with this whatsoever. But there we go, when we solve that puzzle, we get entrance to this room. It's a nice big old maze. Now before you go ahead and whack that switch there with your super ground quake, recommend you go around the maze just to see what's coming up if you haven't played this already. But since I already know what's coming, I'm going to go ahead and get this started. The second you hit that switch, not only will that door open up, but there'll be a bunch of invisible walls appearing out of nowhere now, blocking your path. So you need to go around the maze and activate all these switches just to shut off the invisible walls. And you only have a certain amount of time before you have to go ahead and restart the whole entire thing. So that's why I recommend, if this is your first time playing the game, I recommend you go around the maze just to see where all these switches are. You're not going to know the order where you need to go to hit all these switches, but you at least have a good understanding of where they are, which will help you out. But I do believe this is the last switch here. We just need Tricky to use his flame command on it, if he will use it. There you go, Tricky. Alright, once this stops burning, I can go ahead and activate it. And now we can just run to the very end of the maze, but before doing that, let's grab some more health, because we have plenty of time left. So grab some more health, grab some more staff energy, and that's the end of the maze for you. If that time runs out to 0, you do have to restart that whole entire process, but we made it to the end with so much extra time left, so I didn't really care. We have more than enough time for me to goof around. But we have one more puzzle we need to solve in order to get this sunstone. You see these emblems over here? This one's the sun rising, sun around noon time, and the sun setting. We need to activate these switches in according to how the sun would be during the day. So, first it would rise. Second, it would be high in the sky around noon time. And lastly, it'll be setting in the day, about ready to disappear. It's kind of hard to aim with the fire blaster with this, so spamming your shots will help you if you're not really all that comfortable with it, just like I would be. And there you go. Now with that, we can go ahead and grab ourselves a sunstone. This is going to be used to reveal the Krazoa Shrine. We need both this and the moonstone. And I know what you're all thinking, and I was thinking the same thing. This is a big reference to the Pokemon series, since you have both a sun and a moonstone in those games. And they look very similar to the sun and moonstones from Pokemon. Not exact, But at least the Sunstone, I would say, looks very familiar. Looks very much like from Pokemon. Let's go ahead and feed Tricky here real quick, if he'll take the food. There you go, Tricky. Alright, but let's head over to the Moon Shrine. And it's going to take me a little while to get back out of the Sun Shrine here, so I'm going to go ahead and meet you guys over at the entrance of the Moon Shrine. Alright, here we are, over at the entrance of the Moon Shrine. So let's go ahead and talk to this Earthwalker over here real quick.
When the walls fade, time is your only enemy.
So that's a little hint of what's coming up over here in the Moon Shrine. Last time we were just told as a hint overall what we needed in order to activate these places, but that guy essentially just told us what we're doing here. And let's see, well, how do I want to handle this puzzle? I think I'm going to start by pushing this over here. Then I'm going to want to... let's see. This one's actually kind of difficult. A little more difficult than the sun one. Thinking, do I want to push this one over here, or do I want to just push it right down? No, I think I know what I want to do. I think I want to do this. Okay. I should just be able to push this straight down like so. Yeah, okay, there you go. And I can just push this one over here and hit the switch. Push this one down, it'll be stopped by the block. And that solves the test. There you go. First part done. If you ever feel like you screwed that up and you need to restart the puzzle, all you gotta do is just push one of those blocks right into a wall and it will reset the whole entire puzzle for you. So if you feel like you screwed up and you cannot solve it anymore, just do that and everything will be reset. But let's go ahead and open up the way to the Moon Shrine. Alright, there we go. The way to the Moon Shrine is now open. So let's go ahead and head inside to grab our Moonstone. And in here, you want to be prepared because these floors right here, all these different tiles right here with the Moonstone symbol on them, these will fall apart the second that we activate this switch. So you do have a lot of trial and error here because you can't really tell what's going to happen before you move. But these gates will lower on their own after a while, so just move around a bit, just like so, and you'll be fine. You don't want to stay still too long because these blocks are falling, and they will not stay that way for that long, like so. Ah, crap. Went the wrong way. I was supposed to stay on the outside a tiny bit more for that last one. And that's what always screws me up, that last one's timing. I never remember the timing of that gate. The first two are easy enough, but that third one, not so much. I want to do this time instead. There we go. That gave me enough time. But right in here we have another maze that we need to solve, and you might be saying, wait a minute, another maze? But there's nothing in here. Well, the second we activate this switch, there'll be a bunch of invisible walls put all around us, and you only have about 30 seconds, so just follow the outside of the wall, just like how you would in a maze in real life. You just hug the outside like so. You gotta continue moving here, because if you stay still for too long, then you might as well just stay there, because you will run out of time. And it's really hard to see where these walls are until you would run into them. So it takes a lot of trial and error, but just stick to the outside and you'll be fine. You probably will fail that a couple times your first time playing the game, but once you do that maze a little bit more, you get the hang of it, then you'll be fine. But right here we have the moon cycle. We have the moon as a crescent, moon half full, and the moon completely filled. So just like on the sunstone side, it goes from left to right. And luckily this thing is spinning around clockwise instead, so it makes it easier to hit. But with that gives us our moonstone. So we have both the sunstone and the moonstone. So we're ready to take these back over to where the shrine would be and place these there. And where we first placed those teeth when we were here getting the third spellstone, that's where we need to head. So I'm going to meet you guys over to where those statues are, where we place both the gold tooth and the silver tooth. Alright, here we are. This is where we placed both the gold tooth and the silver tooth the last time we were here in the walled city. So now that we're down here next to these two statues, want to go ahead and find both the sun and moon stones. So here's our sunstone. And now this statue is fully activated. So let's go ahead and fully activate the other one right over here. And there we go. Last time we were here in the walled city, we put both the teeth in these statues in order to open up that gateway right next to us. This time I'm putting both the sun and moon stone in here in order to open up the Krazoa Shrine. So now the Krazoa Shrine is opened up, we can go ahead and collect our 5th Krazoa Spirit. And we'll be one step closer to putting this planet back together once again. Because now that we have all the spell stones intact, we just need to collect these last 2 spirits. And throughout the game, you haven't been getting that many spirits, you've pretty much been getting a spirit with every spell stone. Now that we're at the very end, it's going to be picking up. So let's go ahead and talk to the King of the Earthwalker real quick.
Your final test awaits at the top of the temple.
Alright, so our final test, as he claims, awaits on the top of the temple. So that's pretty much implying that this is going to be our last test for a Krazoa Spirit. Or we already know there's still another spirit that we need to get. So this could be our final test, but it might not be. We don't know for sure yet. We'll find out in due time. Let's go ahead and head to the very top of the temple here. And with that, we will have our 5th Krazoa Shrine to enter. I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here, guys. So, next time on Let's Play Star Fox Adventures, we'll head into our 5th Krazoa Shrine to collect our 5th Krazoa Spirit. I'll see you guys next time.